for hitting the rewind button with us tonight. I'm Dal. This is Dan.
Hey.
So, Dan, it's been a rough week for us children of the 80s. We lost 3 80s legends, first with Malcolm Jamal Warner, then Ozzy Osbourne, and lastly, Hulk Hogan. So, I don't know about you. I was a Hulkamaniac in the late 80s and early 90s. Were you a little Hulkamaniac?
I guess I would have to say I wasn't. Not to say I did not like Hulk Hogan. I liked Hulk Hogan enough. You were more of a wrestling fan growing up than I was. Yeah, we didn't have wrestling in my house until like around on 2000.
Okay, so you were late to the game with that.
Yeah, I was very late. I was very late to the game, not because of age so much as just interest. I had an uncle around 2000 that was big into wrestling, was kind of got us on board for it around that time. But I found out after the fact that was kind of a bad time to get on board with wrestling, because every fight was basically Triple H versus The Rock for that 1 year that I watched it.
Pretty much. I think there was a Cactus Jack Triple H rivalry that was pretty good in 2000. But yeah, for the most part, it was just those two guys going back and forth, if I remember correctly. But
so we're gonna be coming at this from two very different perspectives, because I like I said, I'm a fan of the Hulk in as much as I did see his movies. There were some of his movies I was a fan of.
Yeah.
I was very well aware of him as a wrestler and loved him in Rocky 3, that kind of stuff, and especially in movies like Gremlins 2. But you have the whole... You grew up with him as a wrestler. You knew him in the ring. You got to go through the ups and downs of him going through his different transitions as a character, especially when he went from WWF superstar to WCW as a villain.
Well, he didn't start out as a villain, but he got there. Yeah, I guess we'll go through some of his
we'll
career.
go through some of that. But those are the sides of the conversation we're coming from. Is I'm kind of generic schmo who knew him from movies and being a toy and making all those cameos and TVs and TV shows and movies. But you know him genuinely as a wrestling fan, and that's how you grew up knowing him.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I've told this to you before, my dad wasn't a football fan. His sport was soccer. That was hard to come by on over-the-air television in the 80s. So one of the things we watched together that we bonded over as a kid was pro wrestling. And of course, in the late 80s to early 90s, Hulk Hogan was the face. That's a wrestling term too. He was the baby face of wrestling, the big hero, the poster child, if you will. And he was also the face of the toy line. And that was one of the things that first really cemented my fandom, because not only could I watch this on TV, I could also go into every toy store and there was a whole wall of wrestling toys, and Hulk Hogan was, I think, if he wasn't prominently pictured on the cart of one of the toys, he was in every one of the commercials that sold the toys. So that was one of the other things that reinforced my fandom early on. And
he was definitely one of the merchandising machine starting points of wrestling being in the mainstream, that's for sure, because he was one of the few wrestlers who, while they were kind of all over the place as far as exposure, he was one of the more consistent ones that you saw everywhere, from T-shirts, toy lines, video games, almost any advertisement for wrestling at the time. He was in the movies, TV shows, like we said, Halloween costumes. He was practically everywhere.
Just about everywhere. Arsenio Hall show, Richard Belzer show, hosted Saturday Night Live a few times. He got around, and then, his toys were always the most prominent ones on the shelf. He had the wrestling buddies.
Who do you think you are?
That's Hulk Hogan!
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
We kind of talked about those a little bit with when we talked about the Incredible Crash dummies, with some of those dolls that had the dolls with the heads you could rip off you could toss them around. There were wrestling buddy dolls that were kind of the same thing that you could toss around. That were basically big pillows in the shape of a wrestler. I remember having a little punching bag with a heavy bottom that you could punch, and it would bounce over and then bounce back up, and one of them was in the shape of Hulk Hogan. Do you remember?
So you grew up beating up Hulk Hogan?
Of course, yeah. I had
You fantasize whooping his ass this the whole time?
I guess, when you're a kid, you just you buy the stuff and then you fight it, right?
Now, I don't own any Hulk Hogan merchandise except for the Hasbro figure, one of them. I think there was a couple of versions of those. And I just picked that up within the last 5-6 years as part of my pop culture collection kind of stuff to have around the animation studio. So did you have a favorite when you were growing up?
So the first one I remember having is, I don't remember the maker of the toy, but it was a Hulk Hogan action figure that would body slam the other wrestlers.
Hogan slams him again.
So that was its gimmick. Like you'd pull its arms back and it would hold up the other wrestlers.
That was the Hasbro. That's the same one I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the same one you have.
Yeah, that's the one I bought fairly recently. So you never had the infamous LJN wrestling figure that was like a giant rubber dog toy?
No, I didn't have those LJN figures. Yeah, I had the Hasbro, and then I had another one later on that would like headlock someone because my original body slamming Hulk Hogan toy went missing. That happened with toys in the late 80s, early 90s. You were just playing with them one day, then they were gone. I don't know. I think my parents might have stepped on him and then just threw him away because I left him out on the floor. Who knows?
You gotta love new WWF figures with real wrestling action. Jake the Snake Roberts versus the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
DiBiase lands a $1 million punch. Match Hulk Hogan against the Macho King Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah, my almost smashed will finish Hogan, guaranteed.
Hogan slams him again. Match Andre the Giant against the Ultimate Warrior. Andre will squash the Ultimate Maniac. WWF figures so close to the real thing, it's like being in the ring.
Did you have any really weird Hulk Hogan kind of stuff? Like I've seen some of those stranger WWF toys before. Like there was wrestling marbles, wrestling pogs, wrestling. Is anything like the really weird that stuck out in your head?
No, I didn't. I don't think I had anything really weird. I had a few.
Didn't they have wrestling flashlights where it was like a giant plastic wrestler head on top of a flashlight or something?
I may have owned one of those. Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember having something like that. See, my mom also worked at Kmart when I was a kid. So if there was a Hulk Hogan merchandise I saw when I went into the store and it was cheap enough, it would probably come home with me after I visited my mom at work. So there's a chance I had that. That sounds very familiar. I remember having like a Hulk Hogan belt buckle.
So not a championship belt, just a regular old buckle for a regular belt?
Just like a belt buckle that would hold your jeans up, but it had Hulk Hogan's head on it.
Was he holding your pants up with his teeth?
It sounds really weird when you put it that way, but yeah, that's kind of what he was doing. And then several of the toys, several little VHS cassettes. I remember going to the video rental and renting all of the Hulk Hogan VHSs that they had. Yeah, now that you're showing me the flashlight, I don't know if I ever had that.
Yeah, so we are looking up the pictures of what I thought I remember being a Hulk Hogan flashlight, but it's just a flashlight with a plastic Hulk Hogan attached to the side. It's not. For some reason, I was thinking there was some crazy wrestling toy or license thing that was like a giant wrestler head on top of what I thought was a flashlight, but I'm probably totally making that up.
I remember that too. Maybe I didn't have one, but saw one. Maybe it was one of the things that was on like in a commercial or on one of the shows that was like, send in your money and we'll send you one of these. Maybe I didn't have one, but I now that you mention it and are describing it, I'm pretty sure I've seen one of those if I didn't own one.
Yo, Hulkamaniacs, you're used to seeing Hulkamania run wild in title matches. And yeah, you've seen Hulkamania run wild in tag matches. But now, make sure you go to your video stores and put your order in for my brand new movie, No Holds Barred. That's right, Hulkamania coming into your own home with No Holds Barred. What you gonna do when the greatest movie of all times runs wild on you?
But one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight is not Hulk Hogan in the ring, but some of his memorable on-screen performances outside of the ring. Do you remember watching Hulk Hogan movies when you were growing up?
Now, this I can relate to. Yes, I was very much watching the movies when growing up. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it right now. Like, you're going to take us into those movies, so I'll talk about them as they come along. But yeah, I was very, very familiar with Hulk Hogan in the realm of movies and TV shows I was watching. One that's not in the lineup, I think, that I will just go ahead and say that I enjoyed him in was Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, yeah.
As Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips, yeah.
Like, that was a great moment. That was like what made Rocky 3 one of the the more exciting sequels in the series was that we got to see Rocky go up against Clubber Lang and Thunder Lips and basically Apollo at the end, technically.
Yep. So it really kind of cemented the relationship, too, between Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, which we would see back on the big screen again in 1984 in the A-Team, which was Mr. T's big show at the time. And then again in 1985 in the first WrestleMania when Hulk Hogan and Mr. T would team up to face, I believe, Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And they had the whole MTV Invasion storyline as well.
Now, I got to say, for the A-Team episode, I found so funny because I guess the Hulk hadn't really quite got into acting outside the ring yet, because he was still, even when he was outside the ring, he's still acting like he's in the ring, even when he's just hanging out with friends in a hallway and just trying to have a conversation.
Glad to meet you guys. I'm glad you could make it. You know, I had a heck of a time locating you dudes.
Mr. Hogan, this is truly an amazing pleasure. I have been a wrestling devotee since I was 5 years old. Bruno Sammartino, Bobo Brazil.
Hey, both fine wrestlers.
I always dreamed of being a professional wrestler myself, you know, but look at me. Look how I turned out. But you are fantastic.
Cool it, man. I get a man breathing room. Hey, take it easy, B.A. I like this dude, man.
Try not to break him, Hulk. It's a murder fighting new parts.
Come on, let's go. I gotta change clothes.
It was all that animated, hey, brother, what are we doing, brother? We're going to do this, brother.
And it's so crazy to see Mr. T next to Hulk Hogan, because I've seen them side by side before, but something about that particular episode, I guess because of Mr. T's excitement to see Hulk Hogan, he reminded me of Gary Coleman running up to him and hugging him and being swung around.
You could really see the size difference, even when they were trying to, I guess, shoot it for television. Much different sized human beings.
And you're right. They did come close as comrades, I guess, in that episode, because after that, like you said, there was not only them and doing things in the ring in the first WrestleMania, but they were also in SNL together.
They were.
So, I mean, they really took that act on the road, and for the better, I think.
It was a fun relationship, and I do really enjoy the A-Team episode, too, with how it ends as like a no-holds-barred wrestling match where it starts in the wrestling ring. And I think there were mobsters trying to take over like a youth center that Hulk Hogan had a vested interest in. And it ends in this backstage brawl where you get to go behind the scenes of a wrestling arena, which didn't happen a whole lot on TV then, but would become a recurring theme in the wrestling world later on, and even today, with the no holds barred matches where things just get crazy and they go all throughout the arena. But at the time, that was kind of a new concept. So it was a fun way for that to end. We're talking about season 4, episode 7. It was called Body Slam, an appropriate title for the episode.
Yeah, I will confess right now, I am a bigger Mr. T fan than I am a Hulk Hogan fan. So this is kind of the best of both worlds for both of us to start this off on.
So how did you get introduced to Mr. T? Was it through this show?
I actually wasn't through A-Team. I'm pretty sure it started with Rocky 3 for my fandom for Mr. T, but it was just... he was just in the zeitgeist. Like, I just knew him through just commercials and cartoons, and I was just aware of him and just loved the whole personality and loved his catchphrases and just became a fan of that, because Mr. T was another one of those that he just launched in all the right ways for me, that just checked off all the boxes, because he had a Hanna-Barbera cartoon series, he had an action figure, he had a comic book series.
Don't forget about the cereal.
He had his own cereal. Did Hulk Hogan ever have his own cereal?
Hey, B, no way a little dude like you is gonna change my ways.
It's time you were tempted with a taste of nuts and honey.
Hulk Hogan doesn't eat nuts and honey.
Did you take this? An unbeatable part of this nutritious breakfast.
That's better than a body slam.
Undefeated.
And still champion.
It's a honey of the nut. It's on Nut Cheerios.
I don't think he did. No, maybe.
Never on a Wheaties box?
He might have been on the Wheaties box. He probably was on the Wheaties box. I didn't eat a lot of Wheaties. I gravitated toward the other cereals, the character cereals, the Ninja Turtles, the Tricks, the Lucky Charms, those kind of things.
Now, I will say, like, I know we're on the Hulkamania train here, but just for those who, if you are a Mr. T fan, the biggest recommendation I can give you, if you can still find it, is you have to look up outside of the A-Team, Mr. T was also in this fantastic show that he was a star of called TNT.
T.S. Turner was a city smart kid fighting his way off the street until he was framed for a crime he didn't commit. Amy Taylor was a young crusading lawyer. She mounted an appeal to put Turner back on the street, this time in a suit and tie, working as a private detective.
Last I knew, it was still on Tubi. It was a 3-season show, but the first season was the best. And if you watch it, you'll understand why.
I have never seen TNT. Tell me more.
So Mr. T goes to prison for a crime he did not commit, and he studies up and becomes a lawyer in prison. And once he gets out of prison, his whole mission is to join forces with this other female lawyer, and together they just investigate all these different cases they take on, where she's kind of they both represent the clients in court, but when it goes down to getting the answers they need in the streets, Mr. T goes to where he needs to go to get those answers. And what made it so fantastic was he would have almost like a superhero transformation, where once he was going into action, that's when he loaded up on the chains and all the ridiculous outfits that made it so wild. And the first season was so good because they practically made him a superhero. They would have him be picking up people by their feet and throwing them 2 stories in the air.
I have never seen this, but now I'm going to have to go look this up on Tubi when we're done.
Yeah,
recording.
if you can insert just, like I said, we're on the Hulkamania train, and we'll get back to that, but if you can just insert even a second of the theme song, that should be enough to get you watching it.
Going to look that up right now.
We're on the Hulkamania train, brother. We're going to watch some trailers and the clips from his best moments.
That's right. So, as I mentioned, the ending of the A-Team episode that saw Hulk Hogan join Hannibal and Mr. T and crew ended in a no holds barred match.
Say that 3 times fast.
Right? And that was actually the title of Hulk's first starring movie. No Holds Barred.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I was about to ask, what's the plot to this movie?
I don't know if there was a plot to this movie. It was sort of like this, I guess the summer of 1989 when this movie came out was a good year for Kurt Fuller. I still can't speak tonight. Kurt Fuller. He was the slimy assistant to the mayor in Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
And he's also the slimy network executive in this movie who's trying to orchestrate this match between Hulk Hogan's character, whose name was Rip, I believe, and Zeus, who was played by Tiny Lister, who, if you've ever seen the movie Friday, he was the villain in that movie as well. Devo, yeah. Let's just watch the trailer, shall we?
The house that Freddie built.
The house that Freddie built. It would be the studio that brought all of Hulk Hogan's big on-screen films.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Want to see something
This is sick!
you don't see every day?
Joan Severance.
New Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is Rip. To the world, he's a hero.
There's Zeus right there.
But to this man, he's history. Zeus. Stand back. Way back. Get ready for the battle no ropes can hold. No ring.
Love the inner world voice.
Yeah.
The narration.
No rules.
Unibrow's evil, man.
No holds barred.
This is an unprecedented display of strength and determination.
So did you see this when it originally came out, or did you see this like well after the fact when you're all grown up and found it in the video store?
I saw it well after the fact. I remember seeing this in the video store, in the video rental store when I was a kid, but I never rented it. I think it was actually like a few years ago when I got the WWE Network, and I think it was included on there that you could watch, that I actually watched it for the first time. And it's a stinker of a movie.
It's not great. I wanted it to be better, hoping it was going to be. Well, I tell you what, my biggest problem with it is I never understand when somebody plays a character that's practically them, but it's not them. Like, it's Hulk Hogan playing a wrestler, but not Hulk Hogan. It's Hulk Hogan playing Rip the wrestler, but everything about him is Hulk Hogan.
Right. And
it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why didn't you just play Hulk Hogan?
Exactly. And they blurred the lines even further that summer by having Hulk Hogan fight Zeus in the wrestling ring several times, promoting the movie.
And that's what didn't make sense to me either. It's like, if you're going to do that, if you're going to have the bad guy from the movie come fight Hulk Hogan, not Rip, but Hulk Hogan in real life to promote the movie, then again, why didn't you just make it Hulk Hogan in the movie? It's not like he did anything Hulk Hogan wouldn't do.
Right.
Or would tarnish the Hulk Hogan name. It just didn't make any sense to me.
It's one of those things that, from what I've heard from Bruce Pritchard's podcast, Something to Wrestle, he says that Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon pretty much spent a fueled up weekend in a hotel room coming up with the script for this and then just making it happen. So they actually did the writing. The writing credit from the film went to Dennis Hacken, who actually wrote Clint Eastwood's 1980 Bronco Billy, but the story and all of the weird nuances, the credit all goes to Vince McMahon, who was the creative mind behind WWE for most of the last 40 years, and Hulk Hogan. So,
well, I see. I like weird. I wish it was more weird or had more weird things in it, because I just didn't feel like it pushed it enough in a fun direction of, just memorable. Let's put it this way: the most memorable moment out of the movie, which I've even taken out of context, make fun of on my cartoon series, was the scene where I think some people are after Hulk, or they're trying to kill him, or they're trying to stop him, but it involves him yanking a guy out of a limousine, a henchman, and as he's holding the henchman up by his lapels, he just starts smelling something really bad, and he's like, "What's that smell?" It's like, Dookie!
What's that smell?
So that was Hulk Hogan's kind of first big hurrah as Hollywood leading man. His next appearance would be, again, himself. I think you and I both agree he was playing himself in that movie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then he broke the fourth wall in Gremlins 2. Do you remember this scene?
This was one of the best moments in Gremlins 2. So while you're watching the movie, they're trying to have a little serious moment about what they're going to do about the Gremlins and how to get rid of them, and suddenly the movie messes up. Now, originally when you're watching this in the theater, you're thinking the film broke, which was a thing that would happen back in the day if the film wasn't threaded correctly through the projection. Which is something that would happen back in the day if the film wasn't threaded through the projector correctly. And then if you're watching it at home on a VHS tape, you're thinking maybe something happened to the tape for a split second. But you find out it's all like breaking the fourth wall. The filmmakers are making you think Gremlins have gotten into the projection booth because they start doing shadow puppets on the wall and on the screen. And then people are complaining to the usher who goes into the theater and asks Hulk Hogan in the audience to please, like, if he could simmer down the Gremlins and convince them to get the movie back on, which was great. I enjoyed it. It was
a fun cameo. The whole thing with the Gremlins taking over the projector, I think they even played like little scenes from a dirty movie, which sent the lady and her kid out of the theater in the first place.
I could have sworn it was Snow White.
Maybe you're right. You want to watch it real quick?
Sure. I thought they were playing Snow White like they did in the first movie. Because I think the woman comes out complaining about, my family came here to see Gremlins 2 and all they were playing is Snow White.
The break, sir, what happened? What happened?
Christopher Lee.
Things. Stuff. I swear to God, young man, I will never hurt anything ever again. There's some things that man is not meant to displace.
Robert Picardo, the doctor from Star Trek Voyager.
Yep. Also the werewolf in Howling.
Yep.
Don't patronize me, young man. They're real. I saw them.
I know. I've seen them too, but where?
In my laboratory. In Spice of Life.
And here's where the film starts to mess up. You mentioned the shadow puppets. There they are. Funny that the Gremlins know about Abe Lincoln. Here we go. They're changing the film reel now.
Okay, it's not.
Sun worship.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Sir! I can't believe this. I mean, this is worse than the first one.
We just show these movies, madam. We don't make them.
I quit. Call.
But I'm curious to see what Hulk Hogan is going to be watching when they get back in there to him. I don't remember. You might be right about it being.
All I want to see is Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs.
Enough.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Yep.
So technically, we're both right.
Yep. So the volleyball movie's still going on. Hulk Hogan seems to be enjoying it.
So I bet they shot this thinking it was going to be Cinderella, then they couldn't get, or Snow White, then they couldn't get the rights, and they switched that with this. That has to have been what happened.
Okay, you guys, listen up. People pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth.
I noticed he didn't seem bothered by the switch in the movies.
No. Stand up to the Hulkster? Well, if I were you, I'd run the rest of Gremlins too, right now.
Sorry, folks. It won't happen again.
Just turns it on and off like a light switch.
Yeah, then after he just rips his shirt off, he just sits back down and continues watching. Nobody else in the theater seems that bothered either.
No, they're like, hey, nudity. Naked.
We have gremlins in the projection booth. Could you help us? Gremlins? In this theater? Now?
Okay, you guys, listen up. People pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth. Do I have to come up there myself? Do you think the Grimsters can stand up to the Hulkster? Well, if I were you, I'd run the rest of Gremlins too, right now.
Sorry, folks. It won't happen again.
So that was my gripe with Hulk Hogan in movies a lot. It seemed like no matter what character he played, he was always playing Hulk Hogan. We'd see this again in Spy Hard with Leslie Nielsen, although he was actually playing Hulk Hogan in that movie.
So, I mean, but that bothers you? What are you saying? It bothers you he plays the same character every movie, or that he's playing characters that should just be Hulk Hogan?
I guess I would have liked to see him be Terry Bollea playing some other character, but it always felt to me like he was Terry Bollea playing Hulk Hogan, who was vaguely playing this other character that was always kind of the same.
I was supposed to say, he seemed like a pretty one-note guy to me, just like Chuck Norris. Like Chuck Norris is the same guy in every movie, just like Steven Seagal. Like these action guys were like the same character every movie. All they did was just slap a name and some military background, and there's your movie. Yeah, you're right. But that's not the takeaway. That's what you want. If you want to see a Hulk Hogan in a Jerry Maguire kind of movie, then that's your business.
No, I just meant
what is it? Golden Pond with Hulk Hogan.
I mean, it might have been nice to see some range. I mean, we did get to see him.
His acting range are wigs.
Yeah. Lots of different wigs. Shall we get into some of the wigs?
Yes.
So his first big movie was Suburban Commando in 1991. I remember being very excited about this in 1991. Were you excited about this movie when it came out?
I highly enjoyed this movie when it came out. I don't remember knowing about it before it came out. I think it's just simply fell into my life once it was on video.
Okay.
But this was, I would argue, his best movie.
I will agree. I think it had a lot of hype too, of it being his first like big theatrical release movie. I don't know if I was too young to know if No Holds Barred made it out into theaters that summer, but I vividly remember the hype surrounding Suburban Commando. And it was also one of those movies that they were hyping up on like WWF Superstars on Saturday morning, that Hulk Hogan was in this movie. Even in the credits, he was Hulk Hogan. He wasn't Terry Bollea. It was Hulk Hogan as Shep Ramsey. Shall we watch the trailer?
When it comes to intergalactic confrontation, no one can beat Shep Ramsey.
Excellent work, Ramsey.
What's next?
Why don't you try relaxing?
But now he's about to land in a place even he isn't prepared for. Suburbia.
Get to know the locals. Blend in.
How do you know which ones are the right ones?
You have to squeeze it a bit.
Wow, I found a good one.
Here, they have strange ways of fighting.
You got any idea what we're gonna do to you?
Let me guess. You're gonna pound my face.
What are you, nuts? This is the 90s. We're gonna sue you.
They have bizarre means of protection.
Stand back. You are too close. Back off now. No, please, wait. Let's talk about this. No.
There are dangers he's never seen.
My mom could stay on longer than that.
And enemies he's never known.
I hate Suburbia.
So you'd better not fake him out.
Must be a K7 force field. I'll break you out of there. Glad I could help.
Or take him on. For Hulk Hogan, it's no game. It's war.
Do you belong to some kind of an army? Or do you just go around doing good like some kind of superhero?
Hulk Hogan, Christopher Lloyd.
I was frozen today.
Suburban Commando.
My cat. My cat. That's not my cat.
Oh.
So Suburban Commando came out in 1991. So Hulk Hogan is Shep Ramsey.
Not Chef Ramsey, like I thought I was hearing when rewatching this trailer.
Yeah, Shep.
But let's accept it. No matter what the movie is, we just see Hulk. No matter anyone would be hard pressed to remember any of his character names from any of his movie except Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, yeah, you're right. I can't name a single character name other than Shep Ramsey, only because they named him in the trailer.
Yeah, the closest I can come to is Mr. Nanny. As far as a character name, and that's not even the character's name, but that's as close as I can get.
Right, the title of the movie. Pretty good cast in this, though. Shelley Duvall, Christopher Lloyd as the mom and dad. We even got to see The Undertaker before he was The Undertaker, playing the bad guy in this movie.
Was that before he was The Undertaker?
Well, it was. I think they filmed it right around the time he debuted.
Oh, okay. Because you and I were just talking before we started recording how neither one of us remember him being that henchman.
Right.
Because I remember the henchman. I remember the funniest scene in the movie probably when they talk like little kids and Hogan's like, no wonder you guys never talk.
Right.
But I did not remember that being The Undertaker.
Well, they didn't promote him as The Undertaker. Even in the trailer, in the credits, he was Mark Calloway. So
okay.
I think it was before he actually got signed when they were filming this. And then he became the legend in wrestling that he became. Another character in this, or actor in this film, was the little girl who we saw, the cat that he saved and then slingshotted away.
Yeah.
Was Elizabeth Moss, who would grow up to become the star of The Handmaid's Tale,
Invisible
Man, and several other shows and movies as of late. But that's where she got her start.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I Absolutely had in video growing up. I loved the whole sci-fi side of it. Those few special effects. I thought he had a really cool little costume that they had him running around in that looked pretty badass.
Yep.
The most fun about the movie was just him being the fish out of water, the guy from space who knows nothing about Earth and just getting used. Like him and the mime.
Yeah.
Every time he sees this street mime, he keeps thinking the street mime's like his invisible box is a force field he's got to break him out of, and he tries to help him out every other time he sees him doing something wacky he doesn't quite understand. That was a fantastic part of the movie. I enjoyed watching him protect the kids from the neighborhood from the teenagers that are speeding around too fast in their car and dealing with them. But it also really helped, too, that they gave him such a great co-star, which was Christopher Lloyd,
right,
as the dad of the family that adopts Hulk Hogan to be kind of staying with him until he gets his ship fixed and flies out of there.
Yeah, they had like a room to rent that he saw the sign for and showed up to rent the room, and then got all involved. Yeah, the nuances of like, I guess, everyday American life in the 90s, that if you were just this alien who showed up and had no idea what people were talking about and just being thrust into situations as a big, strong guy, it's really kind of funny to see even to this day.
And I would say that this is one of Christopher Lloyd's best movies, as little as anyone talks about this. Like outside of Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think the only other big ones people usually go to or want to name is Camp Nowhere and this, which...
so not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Oh, he wasn't a big enough part in that to count. He was in the movie, sure, but he wasn't like a main character or anything. He was basically just a background loony.
Fair enough. Background loony. I mean, that's kind of what he is in all of his movies, right?
Except Back to the Future and Camp Nowhere and Suburban Commando and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, yeah.
He was a loony in all of those movies.
Okay, Dal.
I think he always played a wacky character is all I meant, yeah.
Well, wacky's different from loony, but he would have been a great addition, especially to Mr. Nanny.
Yeah.
Which was Hogan's next movie in 93.
He's wrestled the biggest and the baddest, but now he's about to face...
What the heck was that?
The toughest fight of all. Kids.
I remember seeing this one. I don't remember much about it other than like it almost being Home Alone featuring Hulk Hogan with the kids like trying that he somehow gets tasked with trying to run him out of the house.
So in the movie, the dad from the Jeffersons is an old friend of Hulk Hogan who's a retired wrestler, so he's playing that angle again, which is fine because he's just playing to his strengths. And he basically comes to him with an easy job about being a bodyguard for this rich guy's family. So the whole point of the movie is he's acting as a bodyguard for these kids, and there's a bad guy who's after the dad's invention that's going to like reimagine how warfare is fought with microchips and rockets and stuff. So it's all about nabbing the kids to hold us hostage to get this super weapon that he can make more money off of. But it all ties together with Hulk Hogan shares a past with this guy, and Hulk Hogan is to blame for this guy having a metal dome for a head or a metal plate for a head.
Yeah, I'm remembering this now. Tommy Thanatos, is that who you're thinking of as the villain? Played by David Johansen.
Because he was a taxi cab driver in Scrooged.
Yes.
And he was also the star of Car 54, Where Are You? The movie.
What a good character actor. I forgot he was in there. Madeline Zima plays the one of the
daughter.
kids.
Yeah, she played one of the kids.
I remember her from Californication a few years later alongside David Duchovny.
But this was an enjoyable movie for me. Like I said, someone who wasn't growing up with wrestling, when I saw this, it was fun without being too stupid. Yeah. I actually just rewatched this recently within the last year, and it was still entertaining to me.
Okay.
Because the humor was just nutty enough to be funny, but the characters were still adult enough to not be too ridiculous.
Okay. I remember watching this once when it first came out, and that was it. I've never rewatched it again. I watched the trailer in preparation for this, but I've never given it a second watch. So you're saying it's worth...
I think it's worth it. Yeah, because it has memorable characters, a great villain. It's got some great moments that I just never forgot for the rest of my life. And this is a movie that I wasn't watching on the regular.
Right.
But it was, but it was one that I remember liking as a kid, and then I found the DVD later on and added it to my collection. But yeah, I would definitely say it's worth it. This is one of his better ones.
Hulk Hogan.
Both of you, to the principal's office.
Man, some things never change.
As you've never seen him before.
Keep the back straight. Make the arms a bow.
Mr. Nanny.
And it's his last big screen movie. Everything else he would do after this was, aside from Spy Hard and Muppets from Space, where he had brief cameos, and Muppets from Space was another weird one where he's breaking the fourth wall and playing himself. Everything else was just kind of a direct-to-DVD or direct-to-video or a TV movie of the week kind of movie.
Yeah, one of them that I remember seeing all the time in the video store, but I never understood if it was a movie or a pilot to a TV series. And I guess I found that it was both, was Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise,
It's Hulk Hogan on a boat, like a speedboat, like some kind of fancy, technologically advanced speedboat.
That sounds like the premise for several of the Hulk Hogan movies. But yeah.
Well, because there's more than one of those, right? I think that's why.
Yeah, so there were 3 Thunder in Paradise direct-to-TV movies, and there were also, I think, a season of a show based on Thunder in Paradise. And it's, if I remember correctly, it was Hulk Hogan that gets forced into marrying this beautiful woman for
God forbid we be forced to marry beautiful women.
Holy matrimony becomes an unholy mess.
We'll maybe doing something exciting together. We'll make them really fall in love.
So he had to marry her so that he didn't lose his boat, and she had to marry him so she didn't lose her hotel that she owned. There was some arrangement that was going on where they were helping each other out with this marriage.
Yeah, and then there's the villain in the TV movie who's wanting to break this up because he doesn't believe it, and
there was other bad guys who were after some kind of treasure.
Yeah,
that the woman who owned the hotel has something to do with.
And buried treasure would come back to be a recurring theme in another Hulk Hogan movie a few years down the line. But
and it's called Thunder in Paradise because the name of his fancy speedboat was Thunder.
Thunder, yeah.
WrestleMania superstar Hulk Hogan returns to the screen in Thunder in Paradise, a high-spirited romp for the entire family to share.
Santa with Muscles was his next one. It was another one that I always saw at the video store and may have seen.
Have you never seen this?
So it kind of it blurs the line with me because I start thinking of all the Santa Clauses from the movie Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. I know I've seen parts of Santa with Muscles. Let's watch the trailer and get a little refresher, shall we?
In the season of Santa, there are 2 kinds of people: the naughty and the nice.
I got $50 for the first elf that brings me a Santa Claus.
Hulk Hogan is Blake Thorne, and he's definitely naughty. To make his getaway, he's going to make a mockery of the world's most beloved hero.
Do you have a minute?
Fox me, a little brat.
That's him.
But sometimes, the only way you can feel the spirit of Christmas...
Where'd he go?
...is to be hit over the head with it.
Santa! What? It's showtime.
Now, this confused bad boy is Santa, like you've never seen him before. A bearded basher of bad guys. Yeah! A hero with a silly hat. A Robin Hood in red.
Is that the same ice cream truck that Clint Howard drove in Ice Cream Man?
Could have been.
He's been clearing out the whole neighborhood and no one knows why.
And he's got
I'm always distracted. I think the bad guy in this movie is the neighbor from that 70s show.
Wait till Santa hears about this.
That's the kid from
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Santa, you slay me.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hulk Hogan is Santa with an attitude.
Keep the milk and cookies warm.
Santa with some
neighbor from that 70s show.
Well, maybe he's not the bad guy, but he's the one driving the little moped thing there.
Most of all, he's Santa with muscles.
There.
Yeah, you're right. It was what's her name's dad?
Yeah, Donna.
Yeah, Donna's dad. Yeah.
You're dead.
But there's only one named Hulk.
Well, all you had to do was knock.
Santa with muscles.
There's a new Santa in town.
And I know if you've been naughty or nice.
So you have never seen this?
Well, now that I've watched the trailer again, I know I've seen parts of it.
I own the movie. We'll have you come over and watch it with some spiked eggnog this coming Christmas. This movie is horrendous.
Okay, so we're gonna have a Christmas get together to watch this. It's one of those things where it's probably been on in the Christmas season, and I've watched scenes of it, but I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing all the way through.
It's bad. It's not so bad it's good. It's just bad. Like, it's just Hulk playing such a ridiculous character to begin with, because he's a rich guy who just thinks he can get away with anything, and it's just obnoxious and does all these, like, making the cops chase him and all this kind of stuff. And then he gets the amnesia, and then I don't think he thinks he's a real Santa, but he just acts as Santa for this orphanage. But then you find out the orphanage is like above a gold mine or something, or a mine of super expensive minerals or jewels or something, and then these bad guys are after it, and they got to get through him to get it. And it's so bad.
One of those things that would only work in the mid 90s. Speaking of the mid 90s, the next movie he was in was The Secret Agent Club. I didn't remember this at all when I was going through prep for this show, but it appears from the one 30-second trailer TV spot I could find that it's almost like a True Lies ripoff, where he plays a toy store owner who is actually a secret agent.
He is the government's most deadly secret agent, trained in the art of combat, feared by the enemy. He's also a total geek.
Your dad doesn't run a toy store. It's sort of a cover.
No way. Even one-legged man sometimes kick butt. See Hulk Hogan in the network premiere of the movie that proves things aren't always what they seem. The Secret Agent Club, tomorrow night at 8 on TNT.
It looks like this is the most fun Hulk Hogan ever has with wigs.
Yeah.
In fact, it kind of reminded me of that movie, The Stepfather. Have you ever seen that, with Terry O'Quinn changing his appearance from family to family with the wigs and changes in appearance?
They really kind of leaned into it, at least from what we can see in the trailer, that they had a good time with changing his appearance up and actually leaning into that. He would go on to team up with Carl Weathers and Shannon Tweed for 2 Shadow Warriors movies.
Everybody be cool.
Who is this guy?
He was a scientist and arms dealer.
If somehow the Death Merchant is alive, there's still $1 million bounty on his head.
A man from their past.
He stages his own death, makes himself up to look like this guy.
Wants control of the future.
Sarkisian plans to launch a poison gas attack on the U.S.
And this time, the mission is more dangerous.
People need to be warned.
More explosive.
You have 72 hours to live.
And more personal than ever before.
I don't have one hell of a lot of time left. Are you with me? What do you think?
Terry Hulk Hogan.
I'll take care of it.
Shannon Tweed. Carl Weathers.
You just be careful. Somebody's getting their ass kicked. Better start praying.
This is another one of those that I would see the VHS cover for and the video rental, or the DVD cover for after that looked like from the cover it'd be a really cool movie, and then when you watch it, sci-fi movie of the week-esque story and graphics. And
yeah, it was crazy that this came up, because I had never heard of this until yesterday. So because of the recent passing of Hulk Hogan, my wife was just kind of watching or finding different things of his to watch, and she came across this, and we both had the same opinion when we saw the Hulk with his long flowing brown hair and darkish tan, the way he was dressed. It was like he was trying to tap into his Lorenzo Lamas phase at that time.
I can see that. Yeah, he had that long dark hair, and he was, I think he was playing like an ex-Navy SEAL or something who gets wrapped into these plots that they had.
Yeah, and it didn't look like it wasn't a great movie. It's not a great movie,
no.
But it not a terrible movie, especially when you got talents in there like, Shannon Tweed for what she can do. I mean, she's looking, great in it, of course. And then you have Carl Weathers, and Carl Weathers is no hack.
Right.
He's a terrific actor. So just the fact that they were in there really elevated the movie alone.
Apollo Creed, Predator, and
Action Jackson.
Wealth
Happy
of
Gilmore.
great title. Happy Gilmore, that's the one I was trying to think of. There's some good moments in there that makes it fun. It's a fun watch. It's just one of those, okay, we spent an hour and a half watching this, now what?
Let's make a sequel.
Next, Hulk would go on another treasure hunting adventure in Mackenzie's Island.
Hulk Hogan, Grace Jones, Todd Sheelan, and Robert Vaughn.
Let's have lunch.
Mackenzie's Island. It's the adventure you'll always treasure.
It's set on this tropical island, and he's again this former military operative or former secret agent guy who finds this treasure map, and there's also somebody trying to find the treasure, and who can get to it first?
Treasure, right? Treasure hunt, check.
Well, I'm not going on a treasure hunt.
Me, the jewels!
And the hunt is on.
It also stars Paul White, the Big Show, the Giant in this era of WCW in a small role. And he was also in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie we were just talking about, the Santa Claus.
Santa with muscles?
No, the other one.
Oh, Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way, yeah. So I think that's where my brain kind of melds them all together.
Okay.
From watching all of these in that same time period, and Jingle All the Way is the only one that I've watched repeatedly.
Oh, of course.
Since then.
Want a piece of me? Come and get it.
The next movie he would be in was Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. And
I love the title, but I think you are telling me it's not a good movie.
So I tried to watch this yesterday in memory of Hulk Hogan. I had only seen the first Three Ninjas movie before when it first came out in like 1993. So at the time I thought it was a really fun movie. This was number 4 in the series and was a direct to the video store sequel, but it has a good cast. It has Hulk Hogan. I guess good is debatable there. Jim Varney playing
that's good.
Lothar Zog, the villain, and his boss is played by Lonnie Anderson. Her name is Medusa, and Hulk Hogan is playing this
isn't that Lonnie Anderson?
I'm going to lean in and say Lonnie Anderson. You're probably right, though. I'm probably mispronouncing it.
Hulk Hogan, Lonnie Anderson, Jim Varney, Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain.
So he plays this TV superhero who's going to be at this adventure park that the Three Ninjas are visiting, and he gets kidnapped by Ernest's character, and at the behest of Lonnie Anderson, it's up to the Three Ninjas to save him.
This is another one of those I saw on the shelf all the time at the video store. I have never seen a Three Ninjas movie until actually recently. The first one was available on Amazon, I believe, and I just finally checked it out after decades of knowing it existed, but never being one of the people to ever watch it. As far as the first goes, it was a tolerable, okay movie, not anything a full-blown adult could really enjoy. I mean, it was a kids movie made for kids, right? Obviously, but it didn't really carry over into being like any kind of adult entertainment for even nostalgia purposes, at least not for me.
Yeah. The only thing I remember is the grandfather's character. He was the same actor in every movie. I can't remember his name right now, but he was also in Prince of Darkness and Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes. He was Egg Shen or Egg Fu in Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah. And there was also a Sub-Zero, Professor Sub-Zero from The Running Man was one of the bad guys in that movie.
Something must have been working. They made 4 of these with Hulk Hogan in the last one.
Yeah, I remember the Three Ninjas being popular when I was growing up because I remember, there was a first, a second, a third. And I remember people that told me they watched them and were fans of them because they were part of the whole ninja martial arts craze that was still going strong in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I believe the Three Ninjas even had a comic book that was like based on the movie, but yeah, I just never did get on board with any of that.
You're really making a difference, Boomer.
No, Walker. God's making a difference.
Speaking of martial arts, the Hulkster got to brush elbows with Chuck Norris on the show Walker, Texas Ranger. I didn't remember seeing this at all. I don't know if I was still watching Walker, Texas Ranger by the time season 9 came around, but he played this character by the name of Boomer Knight. And Boomer Knight, which is a great Hulk Hogan character name, is a reformed racist ex-con who runs a Christian youth center in the episode. And he helps solve gang violence with the Power of Jesus, the Scared Straight program, basketball, and of course, some help from Chuck Norris.
But if you think shooting me is going to put things back the way they were, you're crazy.
Oh, I'm not gonna shoot you. I'm gonna hang you, Boomer. Come on now.
Did you notice the physical transformation of Hulk through the years? Like, by the time Suburban Commando came out, he was on that thinning out phase. Like, he had stopped doing the steroids, and you saw him drastically get thinner until about 1996. And then after that, he started bulking back up again. And he looks pretty much like the Hulk Hogan of old by the time this came out. I think it was around the 2000-ish.
Yeah.
I told you she was great.
You should switch to decaf.
Dial 1010-220.
Yeah, I noticed one thing in your lineup of clips and shows that seems to be absent is his cameo in Baywatch with Macho Man.
Yeah, when I was putting this together, I just forgot that existed until earlier today when I was clicking through some things and then saw, oh yeah, I forgot about when he washes up on the beach and I think Pamela Anderson gives him CPR and then they're all like closet wrestling fans and want to see a fight between him and Macho Man.
It was a good episode. I'm not a big Baywatch fan, but that was absolutely one of the episodes that I made sure to watch.
It seems like everything in that show was just like ridiculous and over the top, so it's a great fit for pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were both big cartoon fans.
Some of the biggest, yeah.
And I've always been aware that Hulk Hogan was in a cartoon, but I have never really watched any of Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. It was a cartoon on CBS that ran from 1985 to 86. Did you ever watch any Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling?
I did not. Like you, I was aware of it. You can find it advertised in some comics from the 80s. Yep. I know that I have to have seen maybe an episode or two in reruns while growing up, but I never saw it on the regular. It's one of those almost like lost cartoons because you can barely find anything on YouTube. It was never released on DVD. I think you might have bootleg copies.
No? I don't have. So I've seen clips in like Hulk Hogan documentaries that the WWF or WWE now has produced. And I know that Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond played the voice of Hulk Hogan in the show.
Which is kind of blows my mind when I find out stuff like that. When you find out there were actors who did not play their own voices in cartoons. The one of the few examples where you can find actors that did play their characters from their movies or TV shows when they got translated into a cartoon was Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves in the first season of Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I have to find more of this.
It's called Headlock on My Heart.
A whole new arena for me. But it's a whole new wrestling match for him. I guess you could say he's pinned me down for a lifetime.
So Dolly Parton plays this wrestling fan who's obsessed with this character named Starlight Starbright, who's played by none other than Hulk Hogan.
You mean he's not playing himself again?
Well, he's wearing the red and yellow, but he's clearly Starlight Starbright right there.
I thought that was just some headline, not as... Oh, my gosh.
Dolly's outfit, though, is something else, right? With the...
Yeah, it looks like she she escaped a chain gang on the side of the road.
Yeah,
breaking rocks.
You're right. She does have that little hat that, like, the prisoners always had in, like, the old cartoons.
Yeah, she's like a step away from being a Beagle Boy from DuckTales.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah. I guess also maybe she was meant to look like a referee since they always wore striped shirts. I don't know.
Not that direction. Oh, that's what confused me. He's even wearing the Hulkamania headband. That's why I was like, what do you mean his name is not Hulk Hogan in this?
Again, it's one of those things where it's Hulk Hogan playing, or Terry Bollea as Hulk Hogan playing some other character.
While wearing the headband Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Or Hulkamania, I should say.
And I love the heart that beat beneath his massive golden chest.
Headlock on My Heart from 1987.
Well, I'm definitely adding that to my next Valentine's mix list.
Yeah, you have to.
It's wrestling legend Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
Have the rat sent down to Dr. Tucker for some tests.
Tests? But I haven't studied. I don't even have a number 2 pencil.
This is for all my NWItes out there. I will continue to dominate wrestling. I will continue to make your back crack, your knees freeze, and your liver quiver. I will continue to put so much pain on you, you'll become my Painiac.
Hollywood, would you mind the rat? Oh, yeah.
So, Hulk Hogan, what's going to be your lasting memory of him? Is there one particular role or one particular moment that you're always going to keep with you?
Probably going to hate me for saying this, but probably Mr. Nanny.
Mr. Nanny, okay.
Just that was the one that, if I thought of his movies, that's the one my brain always goes to, is Mr. Nanny.
Okay.
But that's because that was a good role for him. Like, he was a convincing good guy. He did show more range there, because actually after going through all these clips, now when I started this, I said he was kind of one note in every movie, but that isn't true. I mean, he actually did develop and grow as a performer and entertainer, and he did actually like show that he had more range, the more into his roles that he went. So I do take that back. He wasn't Oscar worthy by any means, but he did put in the work to get better at acting as time went by.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies that he was in, and I meant to bring it up here and just space while we were going through, was called The Ultimate Weapon. And again, he's like playing some sort of ex-military government guy whose daughter gets like almost raped by this bad guy who wants to bring him out of retirement. And you get to see more than one note. You get to see Hulk Hogan care. He's still Hulk Hogan playing the big guy. It was pretty much a ripoff of the movie Commando, even down to the wig that he wears. But it was one of the movies where you actually get to see some dynamic range in his performance and kind of believe him a little bit.
Terry Hulk Hogan is the ultimate weapon.
Was that the one where he was dressed like Tomb Raider?
Dressed like Tomb Raider.
In one of these mini trailers we've been checking out tonight.
Yes, I think you're right.
Kind of going in and out of. There was one where he has like the tight black top, but he also has like tight black shorts that reminds me of Angelina Jolie's version of Tomb Raider.
Maybe. I don't remember that part of the movie, but sure, we'll go with that.
I'm going to fight for my life for over an hour in there. And when it's all said and done, Hulkamania is going to run wild at the Royal Rumble.
So, yeah, for me, Hulk Hogan's always just going to be that larger-than-life red and yellow superstar that I watched on Saturday nights with my dad when I was a little kid, and who, made a big deal about power slamming Andre the Giant in 1987 in WrestleMania 3. But I always gave him a chance in these movies, and when there was nothing else on TV that I wanted to watch, I would flip over and see Hulk Hogan on TNT and whatever movie of the week he was in. That's where I saw most of my Hulk Hogan movies. And like I said, I don't remember watching the full Santa with Muscles, but I know I've seen moments of it. And
I know what we're going to do for Christmas this year then, because like I said, I have a copy of it.
Spike the Eggnog will cue up Santa with Muscles.
Hulk Hogan. Be like the Hulkster with your own authentic tearaway t-shirts, do-rag, and other official WCW Hulk Hogan merchandise.
So we talked about his on-screen career in the movies. And then in the mid-90s, we talked about briefly him jumping ship to the rival promotion WCW. When he did, he came out with this album produced by his manager at the time, Jimmy Hart, who was actually a Nashville music producer back in the day. And it was Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. And this whole album is weird and all over the place. It's got like his theme song from WCW that he came out to. It's got like this rap song about being on the beach. It's got this Jimmy Buffett-esque number with Jimmy Hart singing about being the Wrestling Boot Band. And it also has this kind of heartfelt ballad called Hulkamaniac in Heaven.
Good Lord.
It was written for a fallen fan, but it's kind of appropriate for the Hulkster as we're paying tribute to him. So if you don't have any final thoughts about the Hulkster, I'll just play Hulkamaniac in Heaven.
Yeah, literally.
For us to remember the Hulkster as we sign off tonight. And this is actually Hulk Hogan on vocals here.
I saw it on TV. I guess it'll be one empty seat when I wrestle at Wembley. I used to tear my shirt, but now you tore my heart. I knew you were a Hulkamaniac right from the very start.
Right from the start,
you were my friend.
And the backup vocals too. This is
beyond ridiculous.
But it sums up Hulk Hogan, just kind of over the top, in your face. Even when it's supposed to be heartfelt, it's entertaining, if nothing else.
Why couldn't we make a music video for this?
Right? There might be one out there. We'll have to check.
And can Joan Severance be in it?
We can only hope.
I'll see you again.
I will see you again.
When I climb back in the ring, you know we'll win this fight. I wish you were here at ringside to cheer me on tonight. The spotlight now grows dim, and now it's not on me. The prayers we said together are still our guarantee. You were my friend. I'll see you again. When the Hulkster comes to heaven.
It's this line that gets me. When the Hulkster comes to heaven, well, Hulk, somebody's got to body slam the angels up there and keep them entertained. And
was that a line? Did he say that in the song?
No, but he said when the Hulkster gets to heaven.
Oh, I thought you said there was a line of him body slamming angels.
No, I was just
like,
riffing that somebody has to do that and keep the folks entertained in there. So another main eventer in the afterlife. We'll miss you, Hulk.